History is a nightmare from which I'm trying to awake. I don't know, this quote plays a little funny to me because in many ways it's true when we're overly beholden to the past. But I think it doesn't mean we can't honor it and pay respects to it. And I guess in layman terms, this is what this is about. Ulysses 2021. We're trying to both pay respect to the man who created this great piece of art and also build upon it and show these new angles, new corners, and new flavors and styles. Anyways, I guess enough rambling, enough talking. Welcome to Ulysses 2021.
So this poem is written by James Joyce, and the version I'm going to do was sang by Ronnie Drew. It's the Ballad of Percy O'Reilly, and it's a very funny poem. It's from his great creation, not the title of this event, his other one, Finnegan's Wake. And it's just a fun poem, and it sounds brilliant, and it's rolls off the tongue, literally. So, yeah, enjoy. Have you heard of one Humpty Dumpty, how he fell with a roll and a rumble, and curled up like Lord Oliver Crumble, by the butt of the magazine wall, hump helmet and all. He was one time our king of the castle, now he's kicked about like a rotten old parsnip, and from Green Street he'll be sent, by order of his worship, to the penal jail of Mountjoy, jail him with joy. He was for father for all things for the bodorous, slow coaches and immaculate contraceptives for the populace, mare's milk for the sick, 7 dry Sundays a week, open air love and religious reform, hideous inforum. Why says you couldn't he manage it? I'll go bail my fine dairyman darling, like the bumping bull of the Cassidys, all his butter is in his horns, butter his horns. Sweet bad luck washed on the waves to our island, the hooker of the Hammerfest Viking, and God's course on the day when a Blana Bay saw his black and tan man of war on the harbour bar. We'll have free trade Gaels band and mass meeting, for to sod that brave son of Scandinavia. We'll bury him down in Oxman's town, along with the divil and Danes, with the deaf and dumb Danes, and all that remains. Not all the king's men nor his horses will resurrect his corpus, for there is no true spell in Connacht nor hell that's able to raise a Cain. A taxi man once told me his favourite piece of poetry, as we drove home, one drunk, one dutiful. My wife, he said, is so beautiful, and I want for her the world in my palm. I agreed that it was a pretty piece of verse, and he laughed. That wasn't something he'd rehearsed, but instead revealed. He clears his throat. I feel the car slow. The air itself breathes deeper, readying for rhyme like passenger and preacher. If I do not love you, then I shall not love. If you do not love me, then I shall not be loved. The words left him like a prayer, a wish more than request, but our Bakishan bond is broken when he asks for my address. When our city is in disarray, it's easier than not to say that Dublin is dying, to say that Dublin is dead. And Dublin, while I love you, I just haven't got the head, and I haven't got the funds to get out of the red, and I haven't got the time to be wasting, placating dodgy dealers, only throwing me a lifeline if I sign on just till better times. The crimes against culture are criminal, and the effort to shift our focus aren't even fucking subliminal. They're lit up in LED for all to see, a big fuck off, fuck you in the form of welcome to Grafton Quarter. The people are sick. We've got Dublin disorder. Dublin, you're disordered, we're boarded on destruction. We jumped through all your hoops and we followed your instructions. But still the club life is closing, the homeless are frozen, and your only solution is fucking bulldozing. Reality bites harder than the tongue of those scorned, warned by heads of high culture and low, that arts and funding in hand go. Dip your toe in activism and be met with the vision of culture and commerce. First as champions of our old city, falling flat in the tangles of tedious bureaucracy. Democracy only works if people are listened to. No change is gained from scathing tweets or marches in streets or screaming along to the next song in your hedge-funded homogenous hotel late bar. So when your city is in disarray, it's easier than not to say that Dublin is dying, to say that Dublin is dead. The click-clack of Dublin nightlife rings out like mass bells in empty streets, because these cold cobbles are catching fewer high-heeled feet, and the brown town loafers have been replaced by runners, running from venue to venue before the vultures' venture capital catapults them to the north side, followed by retorts, snide comments about their new locality. The reality is that Dublin, you're disordered, boarded on destruction, obstructing hopes to construct hotels, never mind the culture, because it's the drink that sells. Charred cards tapped under 30 and overcharged for a drink, because what else would you do when town's on the brink? The city bleeds with every chop and change, but the bear market floods with every exchange. Every drop of drink sold, and we're told that we need it. We buy, drink and breed it. And when last order comes, we file out and repeat it. You're wondering why your nightlife is closing when instead of investing, you're fucking bulldozing. There's no money for artists, so the art won't be made. You get fuck all for free. We deserve to be paid. Working twice your age and hours for less than minimum wage, but legally it's all G, so we just turned the page to a different story. Sure, it's only for the minute, there's nothing in it, and there's nothing else out there. Or at least that's the fear, seeded in the minds of the youth since the big boy bankers burst the bubble and left us in the rubble. The best of us still babies, but still we're the ones in trouble. We get the burden of blame, they're all the same. Won't get up off your backside, won't get up off that phone. Why don't you battle a landslide trying to buy our own home? In 2021, it's clear the working class is still a working machine, and the electronic age is closing the gap between man and manual labour. Do us a favour and digitise the criticised aspects of human error while you try-code the compassion held by a carer or a shopkeep who lets you off with that few quid at least once a week because he knows you're struggling too, and he knows there's nothing else he can do but ease your burden by a few brass tacks to which you say thanks, and he nods and yous now. If it weren't for to each other, there'd be no place left to go. The brain drain might have left us in drought, but there's no doubt that the stout inside our rain's still a-falling. Like the good times never left, because the locals still a-calling. Your name every weekend the same. He's the pain of a back-breaking shift that soothes your carpal tunnel itch. Gather the boys, make some noise, let out your cathartic cries of times gone by and times to be, and all the times you miss, because you see, there's no thinking when you're drinking, sinking pints and dodging points of contention. Flinch at the mention of a well-rounded discussion. Boost percussion, drum and bass, wreck the place off your face. Blissful disgrace. It's the power of the youth to slam cans and born zoots, cause hands up, don't shoot doesn't come into it here. We're not living in fear of the systematic, semi-automatic or them boys in blue. But what's true for me isn't true for you. We have the privilege to accept our fate and blame the state with our commie dogma driving mates. We have the privilege to spray FTG and ACAB and still make a home to see mammy. We have the privilege to be bricks in the wall, cogs in the wheel, with a net of means tested welfare to catch us if we fall. And so, we settle into passive aggression. We settle into accepting recession. We settle into blissful disgrace, but never ignorance, because the only thing we know is our place. I said the only thing we know is our place. Your words are riding with that rancid role-play tone. You say jump, I say how high am I getting tonight? And I only get me answer when our eyes roll to the skies and our lives roll by and our lives roll by. Seek a niche to fill our bloods with peace, leaving pieces in places no one looks, crannies and nooks, a bridge or a hook, watch it cook, never dinner, getting thinner, we're the winners when we're warm, so we're winning when we're sinning. Blood at peace, our sweet relief. Me ma, she warned me the dangers of trusting men, but then again, who worries more than mother hen? You're not a stranger, you're a saviour. My behaviour is not learned, my title is not earned. They are cultivated and curated, Brett baited till you belt up and you save me. Mary made me. Me daddy warned me of this hell, but all the lovely lies you tell were sweeter than his lullabies. Those lovely lies are what lies within this vial of sin and sorrow, when tomorrow's just a pipe dream and this little bottle pipe screams, inhale me. Daddy saved me.
Dreams, can you hear these sirens coming? Maybe it's just me, maybe it's just me. I'm blinded by these high beams running. I'm running in my dreams, running in my dreams. Blinded by these high beams running. I can barely see, I can barely see. From the world in my rear view, I'm staring at the stars cause my ceiling's always see-through. People only care when they need you, and I've been on my own for so long, I don't need you. I've been on a wave, I don't need no one to stay. Faded till the feelings fade away. Wake up in the morning, pray I'll be someone today, but the person in the mirror stay the same. Running all my life, been running all my life, and I say fuck the world, I don't need no one's advice. Always in the city, I don't care about a price. I'm blinded by the sirens and the sirens and the lights, yeah. I'm blinded by the sirens and the lights, yeah. So I can hear these sirens coming, coming in my dreams, coming in my dreams. Can you hear these sirens coming? Maybe it's just me, maybe it's just me. Blinded by these high beams running, running in my dreams, running in my dreams. Blinded by these high beams running. I can barely see, I can barely see. Ooh, 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 ooh. I can hear these sirens coming, coming in my dreams, coming in my dreams. Can you hear these sirens coming? Maybe it's just me, maybe it's just me. Blinded by these high beams running, running in my dreams, running in my dreams. Blinded by these high beams coming. I can barely see, I can barely see.
A nation is the same people living in the same place. By God, then says Ned, laughing. If that's so, I'm a nation, for I'm living in the same place for the past 5 years. It's odd to think of national identity as something that's constantly growing and changing, but it is. As the people who live in Ireland change, so does the culture, so does what it means to be Irish. It's interesting to explore these themes, but also massively complicated because you don't quite know where those lines are drawn, where those intersections meet, and who you are sometimes. The next performer explores these ideas.
All of the pieces I'm about to perform are linked in some way as they describe people's lives and people's journeys through this planet and how we all have one. I do not know what it means to be black. My version of black culture is cultivated by MTV and news reports. It's big booty bitches, blunts and Bugattis. It's black men dying in streets, oppression piercing their skulls. A white lobotomy teaching the ways of correct behavior. It's growing up without a dad, being part of the 51.2% of black kids in the 90s who were fatherless, a white mom tearing a comb through my hair because nobody taught her how to braid. It's 10 years of flat irons and chemicals because nobody was there to tell a little girl, your hair is as old as humanity itself. Each strand tells the stories of your ancestors. Each car represents black history and the ongoing fight to keep growing, no matter how small the progress may seem. It's jollof rice and spiced fish at your best friend's house, because mama don't know how to cook it, and it's asking why other kids call you monkey, why you don't look like them. It's screaming at a mother who did nothing but lay her life down for you. Why don't I look like the other kids at school, mom? Why do I look like this, mom? Why does the sun turn my skin so brown, mom? Who am I? It's asking why your dad is like air. You know he's real. He's the reason life runs in your veins, but you have never met him. It's a mysterious birthday card on a dreary day, pleading your return. Hushed tones and whispered confessions behind glass doors reveal more secrets than shackled brown bodies jumping overboard. I'm told my culture is watermelon Kool-Aid and chicken fried in Crisco. History books say it's barbaric traditions and voodoo-infused medicine. America tells me it's uneducated men and women with empty thoughts and even emptier lives. Their pockets full of money, almost as dirty as the color of their skin. Crack pipes handed down like family heirlooms. I am destined for failure. Not white enough for the white kids, not black enough for the black kids. Spice stings my tongue like the N-word thrown around in front of me by white kids, unknown to the fact that Africa isn't me and it's in them, and together we are all Africa. My hair straightened by the Western world and my skin faded by racism. I lose my identity inside of myself. An endless journey of who I am and why. My reflection in the mirror speaks to me about my homeland. The girl staring back is more than just another light-skinned mixed girl who grew up in a white girl world. I am more than an identity lost in self-ignorance. I may not know what it means to be black, but I sure as hell know what it means to be me. There's a little boy somewhere in the world who keeps the entire universe in a shoebox under his bed. Every night he removes it from its dusty quarters and searches for himself within the mess. Each morning when he awakes, the 4 cardboard walls have found their home. The boy frowns in uncertainty because he left it vulnerable and unsuspecting, and it still found its place. When we teach our boys to be men, we must tell them of the stars, how they lay themselves for the dark and let it strip them bare, of how they disappear at dawn's break, leaving nothing but the shadow of a decade. Yet every evening at dusk, they make a date with the moon and fall head over heels for the night all over again. As they stretch tall and begin to broaden, they should know that the earth is bigger and wider than they ever could be. They are small and fragile, and that is okay. That is what it means to be human, lost amongst the galaxies, a pale blue dot, inconspicuous amongst the other pale blue dots. We are a congregation of skies, of stars, of universes, just gathering for the sake of gathering, laughing for the art of laughing. When our boys question existence, searching for their place in the world, they will break and shatter as the atoms once did. But from this mess, new life will breathe, art will thrive, and cultures will invent, and the boy, still lost amongst the mess, will follow in the footsteps of great warriors and architects, and will build entire nations on the rubble of star stuff. He will venture beyond the moon and discover new planets, entire worlds of possibility. When we teach our boys to be men, we must teach them to listen to the skies. There is far much to be said of the vast silence beyond us than the flurries of a nation before us. The whispered sweet nothings as the moon and the sun dance around each other, aware that each of their existence is not limited to what they can see, but limitless because they cannot. It is a tale as old as the hairs it raises on the back of the neck, felt by a world bent to their wishes. When we teach our boys to become men, we must teach them that girls will become women. They are not an analogy or a metaphor. They are not to be removed or overcome, not something to be ogled or awed. They are more than kin. They are foe and friend and colleague and client. They exist as they always have done, living in perfect harmony with the elements. When the little boy grows up, he will forget the mystery of a cardboard box. His manhood will govern his compass, and he will find himself towering high above the clouds. But his sister, the little girl, she will keep her wonder close to her chest. She will shield herself with imagination and raise her hand every time before she speaks. With the boy, a man now, he will answer her with majesty, because the little boy who kept the universe in a box under his bed knows far more of life than a little girl who was taught to fear it. I soften my voice and dull my accent. I leave long pauses between each word, extending the gaps in my syntax, leaving enough room for entire cultures to thrive. When you are the child of an immigrant, you learn to sing in a language that is broken and crooked. They will ask you about your song, and you will hum out of tune and off key, your tongue swollen with the words family. They will ask you to sing of it, but the notes will freeze in your throat. dangle in the silence and the cold like a first winter, like the knocking of knees and the sounds hands make as you rub them briskly together. When you dance, it will summon the rains and the snowfall. You will be told to hold your feet tight, to silence your toes, but you will dance in grey clouds, each limb celebrating the reign of kings and queens alike. Your belly, it is stuck in the rhythm of mama's cooking, churning like grandmother's hands, nimble fingers sewing blankets and throws that don't quite warm like they used to. And when they speak of great poets, inventors, and musicians, discuss the greatest stories ever told, they will ask you to speak of the tales that comfort you, and all you will respond with is home. Auntie stretches curls across her palm and examines them like creases of skin. I can see you are broken, not taken care of. With each wince and tug, she divides my family tree, reading my scalp like tea leaves. She massages magic into my shattered ends and fixes them flat to my head. You are lost, she chuckles. She handles each braid a newborn babe. Each strand of hair is proof of a higher power, an omnipotent God. In some lands, Auntie is known for her voodoo, the breath of her hips luring any man to his knees, how the trick of her tongue detects even the widest of lies. Drawing them out like tarot cards, Auntie is known for her ability to read you and reap you all in one look. It has been passed down to her from her mother, and her mother's mother taught her the craft. Oh, so taints her veins, incantation stewing with each kiss of her teeth and smack of her lips. But today she is no witch, nor does she bend to Ullarun. Today when she speaks, her pigeon cracks with exhaustion. She is not bringing love potions or blessing newborns. Today she is weaving her stories through my ancestry. She speaks of how she watched the fall of Kemet, as she has seen men grovel for their lives and women submit to their own demise. Today, Auntie is serving bowls of egusi soup to men that do not belong to her and their company. Babe on back, she counsels my dry and damaged, taming my on edge and my heightened. She's a soothsayer, soothing lies and false pretense. She cradles my ego and lulls it to sleep. Auntie is known for her power, for her wisdom and her worrisome, her gifted hands that heal the tired and her bellied laugh that fills entire churches. Auntie works the night shift at the hospital, distributing small blue pills and small white cups. She deals sprays of deodorant and color-flavored lollipops to young drunk women in nightclub bathrooms and sews strands of stress together to frame delicate egos. Today, Auntie is doing what she knows best. She is making something out of nothing.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Museum of Literature, Dublin City, with me, Matt O, and the boys, Tebi Rex. Let's do some quick intros before we jump into anything. Behind me we have Aaron the Banger Kelly. On the ones and twos, Man Like 'Em Red, or 3D. Big love, and our main man himself, Max Anga.
I don't have a thing, so.
Without anything else to say, Lotus Eaters, let's dive straight in.
Hazy mist, smoking rollies in the back of an Acura, acting like we sober with the pigs on the back of us, swerving through suburbia, the fucking state of ya. Only foreign to you, cultures, I'm the culture, you fucking vulture. Your girl's eyes rolling bees, swear she ain't roll me on the road near the forest, but she foraged for these nuts just for none. Now I'm busting in your mama's house, smack the taste out your mouth. Take the biscuits and dip in, then dip them in the tea that I'm spilling, room spinning from the X in my system, pure sweating for a bop with my jaw swinging vicious. My girl crying on the phone, always swear she a victim, cause her friend got evicted. Purple hickeys on her skin, always blues like a peach, so I click up the keys when I tweet. Black men don't cheat.
When it rains it pours, such a pity. Where you from in Dublin City? Don't be alone if you roam. The longest way round is the shortest way home. It rains, it pours, such a pity. Where you from in Dublin City?
But I'm drowning in these sheets, purple lens round my neck, kinda difficult to breathe. Yeah, I'm gasping for some air. Why the fuck would I leave? Always surface slow when she tells me to leave. I done grafting, we grafting, handing leaflets for the art. Why you leaving? We as shine. I'm an actor trying to start. Starring on my Insta, we got flex for the grind. Scooping up a couple grinds like kick a pillar. Sad man working heavy, feeling sleep at the wheel. Car starts spinning, I can tell if it's real. Crashing through the building, the world's a haze of brick. Taste of copper on the lips, sirens wail in the distance as my blur starts to vision. I see nothing. I'm just nodding off to sleep, slow rhythm of beats as it softens often.
When it rains, it pours, such a pity. Where you're from in Dublin City, don't be alone if you roam. The longest way round is the shortest way home. It rains, it pours, such a pity. Where you're from in Dublin City.
I see warm summer nights just playing on the street. Little footy with the boys and a couple scraped knees. Escape from the doorstep, rapping with the quick step. Rapping on the yard, 8 Mile. But the sign of us connections kinda tenuous, but fuck it. These class talking about some ducats and shy when we lock it. Lockers beside the girls that we liked with our hands in our pockets. All nervous, I see nothing, just a dark. I see stars manifest in the abyss. I see at times that I persist and regret. I see the ragged slits upon my wrist. I see dusty hair on mattresses. I see God looking down upon us, sis. I see nothing, just the dark. I see the end all the way from the start. Watch.
When it rains, it pours, such a pity. Where you're from in Dublin City, don't be alone if you roam. The longest way round is the shortest way home. It rains, it pours, such a pity. Where you're from in Dublin City.
Yo, okay, man. That shit was kind of a fucking bummer. What a way to start a set. Like Matt said, we're Tebi Rex, man. This is Ulysses 2021. Bunch of sick acts also from the Word Up. We had Natalya, Daire Patel, Sasha, and now we have us to close out this show. The next song is a new one. It's one we dropped semi-recently. And this is Oh It Hurts, which is a little bit less depressing. So there you go.
Nice one.
This is first take. This is in the second take. We did it in one take. Fuck what anyone else said. It was first take. No mistakes. One take only. One take only. I'm not having a knock before I'm K, nigga. I'm not okay. I'm a kill, nigga. That means I'm great in my great trackies on my way to my bay. Why you stay lacking? I'm not a king. I'm a prophet. You're not a home. You a office. Have my face in the gauze on the waves I cause. Yo, I'm sick if I'm honest. You boys barely honest. I can see your face or your name in them pockets. Yeah, you rapping real good, bub. You just acting for the look, sir. Face off if it pays off. Aesop, sir. Boy, you irked with your day job. Jay said lay off. I gave him a layup. He gave me a leg up. You stepping on Lego, so it hurts, so it hurts. When they stab you in the back. When they tell you that you're first, but really you're just last. Oh, it hurts, oh, it hurts. When they stab you in the back. When they tell you that you're first, but really you're just last. One. Oh, it hurts, oh, it hurts. When they stab you in the back. When they tell you that you're first, but really you're just last. Oh, it hurts, oh, it hurts. When they stab you in the back. When they tell you that you're first. And never lie. Hey.
If it hurts, point out the pain. Doctor, it's much the same. Instead of taking blame, I'm changing lanes, it's not too late. Told her friends that we'd be back soon. Stocked up just like a back room. Locked up, we're in the bathroom. Looking fucked up and smelling like perfume. And I'm mine
So much, yeah.
on my mind.
So much, yeah.
On my mind. So much it hurts enough to wake me up. And these nights
Are tough.
and the slightest
Touch.
might just be enough. It hurts enough to wake me up.
Oh, it hurts.
Oh, it hurts.
When they stab you in the back.
And they tell you that you're first.
Oh, it hurts, oh, it hurts. When they stab Running up, I've been running from my demons. Help me up, pass the post if you see him. I say I'm sorry way too many times. You know I'm sorry, but I gotta try. All these sorries, they don't mean shit. Man, I'm sorry, damn, I ain't shit. Sit in my misery. Forgiveness ain't the thing that you're giving me. Accountability, don't count me out. I'll be a man before they put me in the ground. Sound, it's gonna be okay. Don't you know, don't you know? Boom! Hi you guys, we have been Tebi Rex, and till next time, man.
Think you're escaping and run into yourself. Longest way round is the shortest way home. For me, this always was about the importance of the journey and the value that can be drawn from it. I think there's a tendency to rush to the end point, not to really live in the moment, despite how cheesy that might sound. And like all good moments, this one is over. There was some music, there was some spoken word, and definitely some reflections on the work of one of the greatest Irish writers of all time. I don't know if we did him justice, but we tried our best, and I guess maybe that's the point. This is Ulysses 2021. Thank you.